Welcome back, guys. Alright, so today we're just gonna jump right into it. I wanted to just experience the fall colors. We don't really have those kind of seasons here in Jamaica. We basically have summer, and then summer, just wet summer. So I'm gonna go in with this burnt orange color that I made DIY, and I'm gonna use my number 8 brush, and I'm just gonna do a full nail of this all the way to the tip. I'm actually working with very small beads just so that I could get it as thin as possible. Remember, colored acrylic is not for strength, it's just for pigmentation. We're also going to do the index finger as well. Now I'm making this up as I go along, and you will see me make some boo-boos along the way, but that's what practice is for. I just decided to record while practicing, and I'll record all my errors and upload them just the same, because this is why you're here, to learn with me. So here I realized that I probably took out my bead a little bit drier than I should. Not working with my bigger brush, so it doesn't hold a whole lot of liquid, but sis is still trying over here to blend that bead as far down the nail or as far up. I'm not quite sure the orientation. Far up or down the nail as best as possible. And if I need to go with another bead, that's exactly what I am going to do. So now we're just going to encapsulate this. I am making sure that there's a slip layer on the nail before, so that the bead is able to run on something that is wet. And it won't stick on and give me a hard time to blend and run down, up the nail, down the nail. Like I said, whichever orientation it is. And where you need to get another bead, go ahead and do so. There's no shame in the game. We're all learning here, and I'm yet to be able to pick up a very large bead. In addition to that, guys, I'm actually using the thumbnail on all of these nails. So these are pretty wide. I'm sure if I had used the regular size, that I'd have been able to cover this fairly quickly, but I realized that I have trouble doing the thumb, so the only way to get better at something is to practice at it in it. So that's what we're doing. Always remember to look at the sides of your nail to see if you have enough apex, if your tip is strong enough, or meaning that it has enough acrylic, because you want them to be wearable nails. If you bump them, you don't want it to break and fracture and all of those things. So make sure that you look at the nail from every angle as best as possible. So now that those two are done, what I did not notice until after I started filing was, why was this nail so crooked? Girl, bruh, it's because I placed the nail on crooked. Wait, it took a while for me to straighten that in filing. But I want you to realize my big mistake here. I did not know what I was doing. I didn't know what my plan was. I took up a very dry bead, and this is me trying to run it down the nail. It didn't work, so I had to get another bead that is wet enough. Ooh, it was rough. I felt like I failed at it, but I didn't give up. I went where I needed to go, put what I need to do, and if I had to take it all down again, I would. But you can see that, you know, there's some demarcations right where the two beads were, but I had decided that I wanted to do a glitter fade. Never done that in my life, but we gonna try it. It came out alright in the end, but it was a lot of work. So I'm gonna have to revisit this technique for sure. And put the nail on straight. So at the tip, I decided that I was going to put some of that burnt orange just so that it didn't look too transparent, because I actually did the glitter mix myself. Just some bunch of glitters that I had around the house that I would use for makeup and what have you. So I decided to fade it down the nail. That did not work really well, but I tried. It came out cute-ish. That's a hot mess. Let's just be honest. It's a hot mess. But thank God for filing and a whole lot of prayer, because I was nervous at this point in time. I forgot that it was a practice hand. Also, you may have noticed that I had switched up brushes. Yeah, my number 8. I don't know what was happening, but my acrylic, guess it was just being stuck in my brush every like 2 seconds. I don't know, it's because I have a fan on. I don't know, but that we had to go soak that one and then check out the big boy. So I'm gonna go on the pinky now, and yet again I'm gonna do another slip so that the acrylic slides. This one I wanted to do a Chevron French, so it's called. So I'm trying to do a reverse nail bed, and that's just by me placing the nail color the reverse way and then going in to cut where I need to cut. And then after I'm done doing that, I just work on the cuticle. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife. Well, this is not an X-Acto knife, this is for art and craft, but I couldn't find my X-Acto knife, so I had to use this. I'm going to dip it in the acrylic powder so that it doesn't stick to my wet cured acrylic. So once that is done and I'm fairly okay with it, I am going to follow that up by going right up that wall with that burnt orange to ensure that I have a crisp line when I'm going to file away. Oops, I lied. Actually, I'm going to let that set, and then I'm going to go back to this nail that I truly failed on and encapsulate that, and then hope for the best when I'm filing. So yeah, this is what I'm doing, man. This voiceover. So I'm gonna file the chevron just to make sure that it's pretty sharp. It was still pretty lean, but just gotta learn. So we're gonna dust off everything here and make sure it's clean. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put a slip layer before I put the color. Yeah, slip layer. Oh, by the way, the slip layer is just your monomer, or I should say your acrylic liquid. And this is where I'm going to wad that color up. I'm going to flip my brush the reverse way so it can really go up in those crevices and walk it along that shift line. Also make sure that this is a pretty thin layer because we're going to follow this up with some glitter, and glitter can be chunky. So let's make that as thin as possible. Don't worry if it gets over on your cover pinks. By the time you buff that away to expose the crisp line, you'll be good. So here I am actually putting in the color, the acrylic, no, the glitter color. And I think this nail came out pretty nice. I do apologize if I'm out of frame. I'm still working on getting the correct position for filming as best as I can. And once that is pretty dried or set, I am going to encapsulate it, allow that to dry, and then file off camera. So now we're back and it's all filed and it's looking nice. This is the part, my favorite part, is where we gloss up everything. I'm going to take my shiny top coat and we're just going to let a little disco fall in all of these. Yeah. And then we're just going to add our bling after this, but you know, we just want to enjoy this. So I'm going to let you listen to some jazz while I watch this nail porn. I do apologize for the footage above on your left. I'm not quite sure what happened. I may have damaged my card, my memory card, but we'll work on it. I still think it's visible. I made sure that the side shot was just aligned next to it so you can have a pretty good idea of what I did. Seeing that this is just my mannequin hand, I'm not actually securing my gems with my gem gel. I'm just using the top coat to adhere it. This pretty much caps this episode, I would call it. I want you to thank you guys for really watching and staying tuned and all of that. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna ask, you know, for the first time, that you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, give a thumbs up and share this video so that, you know, I can get some exposure. I'm still new to this nail game, but I think I'm getting better and I just want to get better with you. So thanks again so much for watching, and I do appreciate you. Bye, guys. Until next time, walk good.